This simple leg strength test could reveal whether you're at risk of falls, weakness, or losing independence over time, and the best part is it only takes 1 minute to do. My name is Will Harlow, and I'm a specialist in helping people over the age of 50 to improve their strength and mobility, and today I'm going to reveal a simple leg strength test and show you how you match up against other people in your age group. This video is based on a 2017 study by Herbert Lozier and colleagues who validated a leg strength test for people of all ages and then benchmarked the results of people in different decades of life against their peers. So in today's video, I'm going to reveal the test to you, show you exactly how to do it, and then I'll show you the normal ranges for people of your age. The test we're talking about today is the single leg calf raise test. It's really easy to do and only takes about a minute to do. But before I show you it, it's certainly not suitable for everyone. Please definitely don't do this if there's any reason you shouldn't, and if it causes you any pain, just avoid it. Here's what you need to do. The setup for the test is a towel on the floor like this. And the reason we're putting a towel down there is because we want to replicate the 10-degree incline that the researchers had in their study. I've seen loads of people teach this test, but almost everyone forgets there was a 10-degree incline on the feet of the participants, and that's what the towel is going to help us with. So the test is very simple. You're basically going to do a set of calf raises on one leg to the point of failure on both sides. But before you jump into it, it's a good idea to warm up those calves first. So grab hold of something, do a set of 15 or 20 calf raises on both sides, just to warm up your ankles and your calf muscles. You might also want to go for a 5-minute walk just to get the blood flowing before we start. Your setup for the test is like this. You're going to put the front half of your foot to be tested on the folded towel and the heel on the floor. That will give you that 10-degree incline that was used in the study. Now you have to be very strict with what you hold on with, because if you hold on with 2 hands to a wall or a worktop, you can use your upper body to help you, and we don't want that to happen. So the rule here is 2 fingers on each hand only. So 2 fingers from each hand on the wall like this. You're going to stand on one leg and you only count a full repetition. That means you have to get right up onto your tiptoes and all the way back down to count it as 1. Now the goal here is to do as many of these as you can until you can't get right up anymore. If you get to your last rep and you try another one and you only get up to here, that doesn't count. So you have to take the number before. Now, the good news about this test is there's no time limit. So you just keep going until you run out of gas. And then what we're going to do is repeat the test on the other side. So I'll show you how to do it, first of all, on your right leg. So you've got 2 hands on like this. You want nice posture, and you're just going to go up and down. And about that 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down tempo is perfect. So you're going to keep that movement going, counting each repetition, and you'll find that as you keep doing this test, you'll start to get fatigue right down there in the calf. Now, when you get to the point where either you can't go up onto tiptoes anymore or you can't control that descent back down, that's when you stop the test. Go straight onto the other side, so position your foot like that, and repeat. Now, the key here, if we want to pass this test, is you want the number from your right to your left to have a maximum of 10% of difference. So if you've got 30 on your right, you don't want to be getting any less than 27 on your left. Anyway, so that's the test. Have a go at home, and then I'm going to show you what the normal values are. And if you don't hit those normal values, I'll show you how to hit them next time. So how did you get on? Drop a comment below and let us know your score. And while you do that, let's have a look at the normal values for each age group. So these are the values taken from the study we're talking about today. And you've got my scruffy drawing here to begin with, but hopefully right now you should see a nice clean table on your screen where you can check your results. Let me talk through the results right now because they're really interesting. So basically we've categorized the test into different decades of life. So you've got your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, all the way to your 80s down here. They didn't unfortunately test people in their 90s. And what they found, which was not surprising, is that people in their 20s had the best scores, followed by people in their 30s, then their 40s, and it went like that. So as we got older, the scores got worse. But something really interesting happens if you look at the sexes. On this column, we've got the male scores, and on this column, we've got the female scores. And we know that men are built with more muscle mass, so unsurprisingly, in their 20s, men got more than women. And that carried on in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s. But if you get down to the 60s, something really interesting happens. At the decade 60s, men and women got the same scores. And then after that, in the 70s and 80s, women actually did better than men. And what this suggests possibly is that sarcopenia actually gets much worse for men at about this point here. When they hit the age of sort of late 60s, early 70s, that's when men's strength drops off a cliff. And that's also what we see in the practice as well. So these are just the average. And if you're someone watching this who's very health conscious, I'd like to think you'd be able to hit these numbers. But if you didn't hit this number, if you fell below the average, the good news is your strength can still be improved. And then next time you try the test, you can beat your previous score. So now for the second part of this video, I'm going to show you some of the best exercises to help you boost your calf strength and maximize your score on this test. We're going to dive into the exercises now. Let's have a go. So if you didn't pass the test, don't worry, here is how you can pass it next time. You're going to start off by building some strength back up in your calves using a combination of different heel raise techniques. So I'm going to show you 3 ways to do it now with this step. So all you need is a bottom step, ideally your staircase, because then you've got something to hold on to, and you're going to stand on it like this with the front half of your feet on the step and your heels hanging off it. Holding onto a banister is also fine. Now, when you get to this point, I want you to relax your heels down until you start to feel a stretch in both calf muscles. Once you've got that stretch, you're going to push up onto tiptoes and back down using 2 legs just to start to get the calf muscles pumping. Now, this is tougher than doing it on the flat, so theoretically, we've got more range of motion than we did in the test, and it's such a good way of building up your calf strength if you're just getting started. But if that was pretty easy to you, but you still want to boost your test scores, this is what I would do next. I would do the same setup, so push up onto 2, but then when you get to the top, take all of your weight on one foot, take the other one away, and slowly return to the bottom using just one foot. At the bottom, put the other foot back on, so you're going up with 2, take one away, and down with 1. Again, put it back down, up with 2, take one away, and down with 1. So this is great because we're now challenging the eccentric loading phase. So this is where the muscle's getting longer as you contract it. And it's such a good intermediate point for people that find double leg heel raises easy, but single leg heel raises really tough. You get the best of both worlds here. You get strengthening in both phases. And when that becomes easy for you, you're going to practice the full thing just on one leg. So position just one foot on the step, have the heel hanging off, and then we're up and down and up and down. And doing it like this is harder than doing the test because we've got a bigger range of motion, which means if you can practice it like this, even if you're only doing 5 or 6 repetitions in a row, you're going to build strength that's relevant to the test very, very quickly. Now, I'd recommend working on that kind of thing for 3 sets to the point of fatigue on each leg. Try and do that 3 times per week. And within a few weeks, you'll be passing that test in no problems. But here are some more ideas to help you pass the test next time if you found your calves were weak. The next exercise I've got for you here to help you improve your calf strength is one that you can just do at any time of the day whenever you get a second. This is how it looks. It's called the tiptoe walk. And I want you to imagine you're in your kitchen, you're cooking a meal, you've just chopped some vegetables, you're going to take them over to the stove. Instead of just walking them over from one worktop to the other, I want you to do it on tiptoes. So you're holding your vegetables and you're walking over like this. And now for the rest of your kitchen session, however long it takes you to cook, I want you to remain up on those tiptoes, walking around almost like a ballerina. Now it seems so stupid, it's such a simple thing to do, and maybe you'll look a bit funny doing it, but it's a constant contraction of the calves. So it won't take long of doing this before you build significant strength in those muscles down there. So whenever you get a moment, walk around outside in the garden or in the house on tiptoes. I would do blocks of 30 seconds at a time, then give them a rest, then go straight back into tiptoe walks. Whenever you get a moment, it's such a good way to build strength. By the way, if you've enjoyed this video so far, do subscribe to the channel for us, because then you'll be the first to hear about our videos when they come out, and it really helps us to grow. So thank you very much if you do that. The final idea I've got for you to help you build strength in your calves so you pass the test next time is the bent leg calf raise. And this is slightly less relevant to the test, but it's super relevant to real life, because we've actually got two different muscles in our calf. We've got the gastrocnemius, which is the big one here that we've strengthened already, but we've also got the little soleus muscle, which is lower down in the calf. It often gets forgotten about, but it's really important because it's almost like your posture muscle when you're walking. It keeps the lower leg generating force. And it's almost like your tortoise, where the gastrocnemius is the hare. It's the one that has all the gas, and it can keep going for hours and hours and hours. Here is how you strengthen it. So you're going to find a wall or a worktop, and you're just going to get down into a little squat like this. So just a mini squat. We're about 8 inches down. Hold on with your 2 hands, and then you're going to start doing calf raises whilst maintaining that little squat position. So now we've got a bent knee here on both sides, and what that does is it takes the gastrocnemius out of the equation and makes it so that you're just using that soleus muscle. So you actually feel this lower down in the calf when you do it, and you can keep going to the point of fatigue to really strengthen that soleus muscle. And if you're feeling extra adventurous and a bit stronger than the average, you can do it on one leg, which is pretty tough actually, because the soleus on its own is not really a power muscle. It's an endurance muscle, so asking it to do all of the work here is pretty tough. But if you can do that, it will build you real world strength very fast. Do it to the point of fatigue 3 times over, and repeat that on 2 to 3 days per week, and that is a magic formula to help you pass the test next time. Make sure you drop a comment below to let us know of your results today. Congratulations if you got better than the average for your age group. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time.